We've covered a lot of ground already on how to create great content, how to create a content calendar so that you can anticipate where and when your content will post, how to track your metrics, and what analyzing your key performance indicators can do to help you plan content for the future. Now, let's put it all together as we help our friends at Inu and Neko iterate on their content calendar. In a previous lesson, we created a content calendar for Inu and Neko, where we planned out posts to create based around holidays and events, which internal initiatives we wanted to highlight to our audience, video and stories we could create, and content we wanted to share. We made a plan of what to post on which platform and when. Then we created our content using a mix of text, images and video, good storytelling, shared links, and calls to action, as well as curated content from around the web and from our customers. Then we posted that content to our social media platforms on the dates and times we planned out in our calendar. Remember, we also kept track of all our content on different social media platforms in our content audit. Fantastic job so far, but now we need to see how we're doing with that content and if our strategy is paying off. We've gone through our metrics dashboards and analyzed our data, and across our platforms, our reach and engagement has gone up overall. Our efforts are working, but we need to know more about how our individual posts are performing in order to make adjustments and plans for new content. We can learn a lot by just tracking engagement and total reach for each one of our posts. Here's what we found for Inu and Neko. When we looked at our Instagram insights, we found that our new weekly Throwback Thursday posts, where we showcase photos of the Inu and Neko staff and community as kids with their first pets, got a lot of engagement, especially in the comments section, where our audience shared memories of their first pets. Because of the high engagement and the feel-goodness about these posts, we'll continue. We scheduled out a series of reminders for our services on Facebook, which were posts designed to get our audience to click through the link to learn more about our grooming services at our website, and hopefully book an appointment. But in looking at our metrics, we found that those posts didn't do really well on engagement or conversions. Maybe we should think about bundling this call to action with a story. I think the audience reacts better to that. We can see that the end of summer sale promotions we posted received varied engagement. When we look further, we can see that the general posts got lower click-throughs than the posts about specific products. Going forward, we'll know to post about specific products. Additionally, our summer sale product post got most clicks on Pinterest, possibly because due to Pinterest's shopping options, our audience there is much warmer and looking to make a purchase. We discovered that the tweets with the highest total reach were tweets that contained tips and advice on pet grooming and health. They achieved that level of reach because they were retweeted more than any other kind of tweet. If they're being shared by our audience, it means that they're valuable to them and they're seeing us as an authority in our industry. So let's keep sharing advice and tips. And let's make a note to start including a link to our services with those tweets. If our audience likes our advice, they may want to purchase our services. We can also check to see how our advice and tips-themed posts are doing on other platforms. We decided to post some tips and advice geared towards specific dog breeds, and when looking at those posts, we discovered a lot of comments and some good conversation going. But in looking closer at our metrics for those posts, our reach was really low. That actually tells us a lot that our niche posts targeted a niche audience and got them talking. We could say, oh, we didn't get much reach, so we won't post those kinds of posts again. But that's probably the wrong viewpoint. We should schedule these kinds of posts into our calendar again, because even though we only heard from a small audience, they were highly engaged and know we care about their interests. These are just a few ways in which you can use data to understand the effectiveness of your social media efforts. Hopefully, you now have a better sense of how much of an iterative process managing your social media content really is. Creating content and posting it is really only one part of it. Running social media involves using and understanding your metrics and constantly tweaking your content and format to continually discover what resonates best with your audience. And the discoveries we made in this video don't mean that we figured everything out in terms of our strategy. We'll make the adjustments we discussed and then we'll revisit them to see if we got better returns. If not, we'll make another plan and try something new.